Hello, everyone. I'm Charlie Danis of Capital Athletics. Welcome into the Capital Men's Basketball Podcast. Joining me now, the assistant coach of the Capital Men's Basketball Program, Andy Winters. Well, Coach, kind of a rough start to 2016, losing 4 out of the first 5 games, albeit to some really good competition, particularly within the conference. A 75-74 loss to John Carroll, 92-76 loss out of conference at Denison. You rebound with a 90-79 win over Baldwin Wallace, but then you follow that up with a 78-74 loss to Marietta and a 73-70 loss to Heidelberg. I'm wondering, being a former player, now a coach, how do you move past those losses, put it in the back, and try to move forward?
Well, the biggest thing as a player is that you always try to learn internally what you could have done better, and I think that's the most important thing that our guys need to understand is that, you know, teams are going to scout us and they're going to know what we're doing, and we have to be able to make adjustments individually and as a team to help, you know, some of these late game situations where we're putting ourselves with an opportunity to win and just not coming out on top.
I want to focus on last week. You welcome in number 10, Marietta. First half, not so great. You dig yourself a big hole. I really got to commend your team. They came out fighting in the second half, and you end up losing by 4. I guess the bad news is you weren't able to get the win, but the good news was that you put up a pretty good fight against a top 10 team. You're almost there. I can feel like your team is almost on the precipice of knocking off one of the big boys in the OAC.
Yeah, you know, the first half we were down 18, and you know, you can't beat great teams digging yourself that big of a hole. So proud of our guys that we came back and outscored them by 14 in the second half and really had a chance to tie it still. Even though we made a couple mistakes towards the end, there's no such thing as moral victories. You know, we talk about we think we're good enough if we play right and do the little things correctly to hang with the top of the OAC. And our guys took it, you know, very hard that we lost. But you know, looking on the bright side is that, you know, a couple changes and tweaks there, and I think we'll be okay.
One of the guys that had a good game against Marietta, Michael Green, he was the guy that helped you get back into the game in the second half. 24 points, one of your senior leaders on the squad. How important is he going to be for your team going forward?
Very important. I mean, he is probably our second option in offensively. He's a senior. He understands the game. He has a very good IQ. The guys, you know, as a senior, a lot of the guys look up to him whether or not he scores or not. And I think his biggest part of the team is continuing to help our team from a leadership standpoint and really helping these guys understand, you know, that he knows what it takes to win, and so do these other seniors, and just implementing that and teaching these young guys, you know, to follow suit.
We're talking with Andy Winters here on the Capital Men's Basketball Podcast on athletics.capital.edu. Then a 73-70 loss at Heidelberg. Coach, this was another one of those games where you had a lead at halftime, but Heidelberg ends up outscoring you 44-34 in the second half. You're right there at the end. Again, you weren't able to get it done at the end. What happened after halftime?
Going into halftime, I think we were up 7-8 points, and you know, the biggest thing is they came out and you know, stopping their run from getting to be, you know, 20 points, where we've only, you know, a 20-4 run is our biggest issue, and limiting what they do, and our guys, you know, within the flow of the game, when we need a bucket, we need to do a better job of running a set that gets us a layup or gets us an easy shot, and I think we kind of struggled with that, and give credit to Heidelberg. Their pressure took us out of what we wanted to do, and that's when they made their run, and then, you know, by the time we started to make our run, we kind of ran out of time.
I want to talk about a player who ended up having 7 points in that game. Joey Weingartner. Here's a guy that you recently added to the roster, a Dayton kid, Centerville, Ohio, to be more specific. Mm-hmm. What does he bring to the table?
Joey brings toughness. He brings a mentality that we're trying to get everybody to have, is that he's going to outwork you and out-tough you and not take no for an answer. So, you know, he brings a lot as far as offensively. You know, a good shooter, good with the ball in his hands. He can create for other guys. And it's nice to have him part of the rotation. You know, still a lot of things for him to work on. But, you know, it's nice to have another tough kid in your program.
Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule now. You have a home game against Muskingum on the 20th, road game at Ohio Northern on the 23rd. a home game against Wilmington on the 27th, and then a big road game at Mount Union on the 30th to end the month. 3 of those 4 teams near the bottom of the barrel in the conference should be able to take care of business before you take on another one of the big boys, this time Mount Union, a rematch, if you will, because you've already faced the Purple Raiders. What do you make of the upcoming schedule?
You know, losing 4 out of our last 5, I think we have to do a better job of taking care of business each night. And you know, Muskingum's our next game, and we have to do everything each day preparing for our next game. And if we do that, then things will take care of itself as opposed to us looking ahead and trying to figure out.
Well, Coach, let's end it with this, the random question of the week. As of this recording, it's MLK Day, Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. Dr. King was one of those people that was just trying to make the world a better place, being a civil rights activist and such. If you had to rid the world of an evil or anything that could make the world better, if you had that opportunity, what would you do?
You know, peace everywhere. I think that, you know, young 18-year-olds going to war and fighting a war, you know, all over the country, that may never end, but that's something that I always thought, you know, speaking and listening to a lot of great leaders and guys who I value their opinion, you know, peace on earth is the biggest thing.
Hopefully our world will come to that point at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Coach.
Hey, thanks.
That was head coach Andy Winters joining us here on the Capital Men's Basketball Podcast. For more, go to athletics.capital.edu. I'm Charlie Danis. We'll see you next time. Hello, everyone. I'm Charlie Danis of Capital Athletics. Welcome into part 2 of the podcast. Joining me now, the freshman guard, Will Hanna. Will, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So, Will, you come from the Cincinnati area, Milford to be more specific. How did you become involved with basketball?
Well, as a kid, I played a lot of sports. Just like all my brothers, played basketball, baseball, a little bit. Didn't really play much football, but played soccer as a kid. And basketball just ended up being my favorite as I was growing up. And my dad was a good basketball player, and so was my grandfather. So,
favorite player?
I'd have to say my favorite player growing up was LeBron James. I was a LeBron James fan. But as I grew more and more, my favorite college player was definitely J.J. Redick.
Really?
Yeah.
Of Duke?
Yes.
Would Duke be your favorite team then?
It was. I never really had a specific favorite college basketball team other than like Xavier, Duke, and J.J. Redick was a big part of that.
J.J. Redick still going strong with the LA Clippers from what I understand. What were some big memories from your prep career?
As a kid, me and my friends, we all played in the same select team growing up, which was kind of cool. So we all stayed in the same team and through from elementary school to junior high and then into high school. And definitely my favorite moment was my senior year in high school where we had the best record in our high school's history. And that was pretty cool to end it like that.
I was going to say that has to be a pretty high accomplishment.
Yes, definitely.
So after the prep career in Milford, you end up going here to Capital. So what drew you to Bexley?
Coach Winters and Coach Godin were definitely very good recruiters. They got me very interested in Capital with Ohio State being right here, but the biggest part was them as coaches, the players that I'm with now on the team, and Bexley itself is just a really nice area.
We're talking with Will Hanna here on the Capital Men's Basketball Podcast on athletics.capital.edu. Well, this has been a really interesting season. At the beginning of the year, you have an interim coach in Coach Winters taking over for Coach Godin while he's away trying to get his health better. 4-4 in OAC play, 8-7 overall, 12 underclassmen on the roster, including yourself.
Yes.
You happen to be a freshman. Yeah. What do you make of the season thus far?
We got off to a little rough start at 0-2, but Coach Winters has done a great job. We got off to a hot start, 7-3, and then we hit a little rough patch with OAC play. But with the second half of the season coming up, we're really excited. And we have things to fix, but they're very fixable, and I think we're going to be pretty good in the second half.
I talked with Coach Winter about this. 2016 hasn't gotten out to the grandest of starts, losing 4 of your first 5 games of the new year. Yeah. As a player, how do you move on past those losses? How do you move to the next game and put the losses on the back burner?
Well, you look at what you did wrong and look at why you lost, and you definitely have to put them on the back burner and forget about them and look forward to the next one and just play better next time.
You got an interesting stretch here coming up. Muskingum is going to be coming at home, and then at Ohio Northern, a home game against Wilmington, and also a road game at Mount Union coming up in the later stages of January. What's going to be the key during this stretch?
We have to consistently play well. The start of 2016, we've played well as points, but we've also played bad at points, and it's really about consistency for us right now, and just keep playing well.
What's been the biggest adjustment for you going from high school ball to collegiate ball?
It's definitely more physical. Everyone's a lot quicker. Everyone's just as good as you, which makes it a little bit tougher. And you really have to know basketball a lot more in order to be good.
You're a young guy, and obviously young guys look up to the older guys,
Yeah.
the seniors in particular. What do you make of this senior class?
The seniors are great. They're definitely great role models. They're a huge part of our team. Mark, AJ, and Mike. They're what runs this team without a doubt. And without them being role models, I don't know if we'd be as good as we are right now.
And I'll tell you what, I don't know where this team would be without Mark Minch. He's top 3 in scoring in the OAC. All those moves that he does in the post,
Yeah.
and all those passes that he gets out to the perimeter. Do you sometimes just sit back there and say, how is this guy doing it?
Yeah, sometimes when when he makes a play and he throws it to someone or he makes the shot, it's just like, how did that happen? You kind of have to blink twice. And he's a special player, and he's a huge part of our team, and it's awesome that we have him.
So, Will, let's now get to know you as a student athlete. Your major?
Business undeclared. I haven't decided what type of business yet.
And what would you like to do with that in the future? I know that you got a few more years left here in school, but
Yep.
you must have an idea, right?
Sort of, kind of. I mean, since I'm business undeclared, I don't know exactly what I want to do, but obviously some of the business. My dad was a good business major in college, and it worked out well for him after, so hopefully he'll have some guidance for me.
If it worked out for the old man, it must work out for the son.
That's the plan.
So finally, MLK Day, as of this recording,
Yeah.
Dr. King did a lot of good things for this world through his civil rights. So if you had to rid the world of an evil, if you had the chance to make the world a better place, what would you do?
That's a tough question. Wow. I mean, this isn't a very serious one, but I would just like Ohio State football to win every time.
Of course. They're a national championship.
That would be the rid of the evil. Or
And of
Michigan, the state of Michigan.
Yeah,
would be a
the state of Michigan to
possibility.
lose.
Yeah.
Okay. I can see that,
Yeah.
going from a sports-wise. Well, thank you so much for
Thank you
joining
very
us.
much.
Will Hanna, the freshman guard, join us here on the Capital Men's Basketball Podcast. For more, go to athletics.capital.edu. I'm Charlie Danis. We'll see you next time.